Today we're going to see what is the for each, what is the parallel for each, what is the batch. Actually these three are using usage is the same actually to processing the records, multiple records. We can use the for each and batch and parallel for each. Then what is the main difference between these three scopes? Actually we can call it as a scopes. So now we'll see what is the difference between these three flows, these three scopes. Okay, so first of all I'll go with the
హలో
for each. Yeah
హలో
bro.
బ్రో.
Yeah,
సారీ
tell me.
పిలిచారా బ్రో ఇందాక నన్ను?
Yes, yes.
నేను జస్ట్ వాటర్‌కు తాగడానికి వెళ్ళాను అంతే నేను.
Okay. Now we are going to discuss about the for each, parallel for each, batch actually. These three components are the similar components. Now we'll see. Okay. So first of all, I will see. So I'll show you some here. I have done some advanced concepts actually. So I will show with our application. Okay. So as of now we have created one application, right? So I'll show by using that application. So where is my M-unit example? In this only I'll show the for each, everything I'll show in this example only. Okay, so here I'm calling the database, right? So I'm calling the database, it is giving the 30 records almost. Okay, otherwise I'll remove all record. Yeah, it is giving almost 30 records actually. So oh, actually I'm going to perform operation while inserting the data. Okay, I'm going to perform operations for the insert the data into the database. Okay, so for that I'll use one thing. Okay, uh, hello, I'm getting echo actually. So this is the, I'll create a one new application. Okay, just please follow me very quickly. I'll show you one different thing actually. So practice, otherwise scope. So in this scopes example I'll show you three scopes actually. Okay, so one is HTTP listener. I'll drag HTTP listener here. I'll drag one more database component, so one more transform message I'll drag. I'll show you one database. Okay, I'll use insert operation. Okay, insert operation, I'll use insert operation. So first of all I'll show you. Okay, so I want to create a 10 records actually. So I'm deleting all data from the database. Okay, delete from students. So I'm writing select star from student, nothing but it is giving empty set, nothing but I don't have any data in the student table. I want to insert 30 records in the student table. How can I insert 30 records actually? So for that we can write some syntax actually. So in this way you can write 1 to 30 records I want to insert in the data view. You can write in this way. Okay, 1 to 30 records I want to insert by using map, nothing but it will iterate 30 times. Okay, 30 times I'll give this data. Okay, 30 times I'll give student data. How can I give? So here you can see some example. So in the example you can see in this, yeah, in this way I can give actually. So I'll explain all conditions. Okay, so in this way I can insert 30 records actually. Okay, so I'll remove this anyway. I'll add this later. Okay, Control X. So now you can see these are my 30 records actually. These are my 30 records actually. So I'll hit from the browser and I'll show you. Okay, how the 30 records will create. So here I'll go with the for each example. Presently I'm doing for each example. I'm running this application. Just observe very carefully. Okay, I'm running this application. So it will run. I'm hitting from the browser. How can I hit? HTTP localhost 8081 for each. Okay, so I'm hitting this. So first of all, it will go to the listener and it will create 30 records actually. It will create 30 records and it will show in browser. How it will show? So it is giving in a Java. So that's why we are not able to see. If you keep here JSON, then it will show in a JSON format 30 records. How you can generate 30 records within the flow? This is the syntax. 1 to 30 means it will take 30 records actually. Okay, it will take 30 iterations. I am doing by using mapping. It will take it will do 30 iterations. So every iteration I'm printing some data actually. Okay, so how can I print? If I click on the send button, it will print 30 records. Here I can see SID 1000. Okay, nothing but here I can see index is 0. First it will show the index is 0. That's why 1000 plus 0 0. Niru 0. It will show Niru 0. Here you can see Niru 0. Niru 0, right? In second iteration 1000 plus 1. 1000 plus 1 Niru 1 here. In this way it will create a 30 records actually. Okay, it will create 30 records. Nothing but 29. It will start index will start with the 0, right? So that's why 30 records it will create. In this way we can manually we can create 30 records. Okay, without typing all these things, directly we can create a 30 records in this way. Okay, this is a syntax. This will use in your lifetime actually. So this is the one advanced technique. So now I'm going to insert all these 30 records into my database. Okay, so how can I insert? By using database component, by using insert operation, right? So yeah, insert operation. How can I configure? Plus, and here I'll select the MySQL connection. Here I'll give the dependency like MySQL jar, and here I'll give the local host, and it is giving like local host, and port is 3306, and my username is root, password also root, database is the testdb. So now I'm going to write some insert query actually. Here I'll take all this data, I'll take here payload, and here I'm going to write some insert query. How can I write insert query? This is the insert query. Okay, so from here I'll take copy and I'll paste that insert query. Okay, so here you can see insert query. Now I'm trying to hit actually. Now I'm trying to hit my DB. Whether it is inserting or not, will see. Okay, I'll show you. Now I'm pressing Ctrl S. I'm trying to hit this 30 records. I'm trying to insert at a time. Okay. Yeah. Now it will throw error actually. What it is throwing? Cannot coherence array. It is throwing some error. What is this error exactly? Actually, what happened here? If you see here, you can see insert, right? So here you can see bulk insert and also insert. What is the meaning of the bulk insert and insert? So insert means it at a time it will insert only one record actually. So bulk insert means it will record multiple, it will insert multiple records at a time. But here we are sending multiple records, right? So here we are sending multiple records. But here I'm using insert actually. That's why it is not allowing to insert multiple records at a time. So that's why we need to use the for each actually. For each means here you have 30 records, right? So it will iterate each record actually. It will iterate one by one and it will insert that one by one record actually. It will insert one by one. It will insert one by one. Okay. So how it will possible? I will wrap in with for each, so that it will divide all 30 records individual records and it will insert one by one actually. Okay, so now you can see I'll place one logger. I'll place one logger here inside database, inside for each. Okay, here you can see inside for each, inside for each payload. So from here we will get all 30 records at a time, right? But inside for each you will get only one record at a time. Okay, so that single record is going to insert every time into the database. Okay, so now you can check actually in the database also I'm performing select star from student, but still it is showing empty set actually. Okay, so still it is showing empty set. So now I have placed logger actually. I have placed logger inside for each. So it will split all the records in a single record by record and it will insert into the database. Okay. So now I am going to insert this data. Now here you can see all data got inserted. So here also you can see select star from student. Now you can see 30 record got inserted, right? So in this way we can insert actually. Okay. So yeah, in this way it will insert. Now what will happen actually? So I'll write some condition actually. Here I'll write some condition. What is that condition? I want to actually this database allow for the SIDs, it will allow only integer values. If you pass any string values like ABC or XYZ, if you pass any values, it will throw error. Why? Because it will not, it is a like a int type is int type, this is the varchar, nothing but string type. These three fields are string type, this is the int type. Integer will not allow the string type. That's why if you pass any string value here, it will throw the error. How can I make our string values? So I'll write some if else condition. Okay, by using that if else condition, yeah, if condition, I can write some if else condition. I'll explain this condition as well, don't worry about that. Okay, so I'll write this condition anyway. So what is this condition actually? So here you can see like here I can see if actually every time it is iterating, right? So 0 1 2 3 like. So if my record is 7th record, okay, nothing but index is 7th index, automatically 7th index or 17th index, otherwise we can make anything actually, 19th also we can make. So nothing but 7th record, 19th record, it is returning ABC. Instead of returning actual value, it is returning ABC. Remaining things, it will return the actual values. Okay, like nothing but 1000 plus. If that is double dollar equal to 6, directly it will not, this if condition will not execute. So directly it will come to here, it will execute like 1000 plus 6, nothing but 1006 it will return. If the index is like 7, then condition will true, then it will return ABC. Instead of this value, it will return the SID, it will return the ABC. ABC nothing but this database will not allow the ABC, right? So that's why for the 7th position and 19th position I am returning ABC value. So these two records will fail actually. These two records will fail. How these two records will fail? We'll see. Okay. So in this scenario, I will refresh, I'll delete all data actually. Okay, I'll delete all data, delete from student, nothing but it is query affected, row 30 rows affected actually, nothing but if I again if I'm like hitting select star from student, it is giving empty set, nothing but I'm deleting all these 30 records. Now my table is empty. So now I am trying to insert, actually I have error at 7th position, nothing but 8th record, and I have error at 20th record. Okay, what will happen, we'll see. I have error in a 8th record and 20th record, we'll see what will happen. Okay, I will press Ctrl S. Okay, so this will deploy. I'll test actually. Okay, so send. Now you can see incorrect integer value ABC for column SID. Okay, in this way it is throwing some error actually. So what will happen now? So first of all, the cursor will come here, it is generated 30 records, it is iterating record by record actually. 7 record it is processed successfully, but 8th record it will throw error. Why? Because based on this condition I am sending ABC instead of integer, I am sending ABC. It is trying to insert that ABC into this database, but it is not able to insert. Why? Because this is not allowed the integer, it is not allowed the strings, right, for the SID. So that's why it is not able to insert that eighth record. So now you can see here, if I perform select star from student, you can see select star from student, you can see only 7 records only got inserted. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 7 record got inserted. Okay, eighth record got failed. Why eighth record got failed? So why? Because we are inserting record by record by using for each. So that's why eighth record got failed. Okay. So in this scenario, so this is the drawback of the for each actually. So in the for each, if you got any error in a record, like if you take 100 records, if you got error in a 20th record, remaining 80 records will fail actually. Only that 20 records will got execute successfully. That is the disadvantage of the for each. Okay, so that is the disadvantage of the for each. So that's why they have introduced parallel for each. Parallel for each means it will create individual threads actually, but if you observe in the for each, everything will execute in a single thread. That's why once that in the one thread, if you got error in that thread, automatically that thread will close and your execution will stop actually. Why? Because it is everything, all records will execute in a single thread. So that's why if you got any error in that thread, automatically that thread will close actually. But if you use parallel for each, so it will create 30 records, it will create a 30 threads for the 30 records. So each thread will execute individually. If you got any error in a single thread, only that thread will got fail actually. Remaining all threads will execute successfully. Okay. So instead of this for each, I'll place the parallel for each. Parallel for each. Okay. So I'll place this database here and a logger here. I'll delete this for each. Okay. Delete this for each. And I'm saving, and I'm deleting this 8 records also. This 7 records also I will delete. How can I delete? Executing this delete from student. So 7 rows got affected. Again I'm select star from student operation. Okay. Now empty set it is showing. Now I don't have any data. So I'm using parallel for each now. So I'm sending the request. Okay. I'm sending the request. Now 500 internal server error. What happened? So it is showing same error actually, but in the database, I'll check in the database, select star from the student, enter. Now you can see how many record got inserted actually. So this it is executing all thread parallel, right? So that's why first it is executing 1002, after that it will executing 1029 record. So parallelly means nothing but it will execute parallelly. So all records will process parallelly. So that's why it is inserting all records. Here you can see 28 rows, nothing but 2 record got failed actually. Only 2 records got failed. Why? Because 2 records got have SID as a ABC, right? So that's why only that 2 records got failed. That 2 records are not inserted actually. Remaining all records are inserted. Okay, that is the advantage of the parallel for each. Okay. Yeah, that is the advantage of the parallel for each. So in this way we can use the parallel for each. And here also we can observe one drawback actually. So I'm processing 30 records, that's why it is creating a 30 threads, that is fine actually. If I am processing 1 lakh records, what will happen? So this is the very burden, right? To create this, to maintain this many threads and processing all thread parallelly. So your performance will decrease actually. So that's why they have introduced batch concept actually. So while using batch, you no need to create those many threads actually. So instead of that, you can create like every 10 records you can make it as a batch, and you can process 3 batches actually, so that it will create 3 threads and it will execute the 3 threads actually. Okay, so in this way. And here one more thing, you are getting error, right? So like in the parallel for each and for each also you are getting error. In the for each, when you got the first error, then only it will skip the execution and it is not inserting remaining values, right? In the parallel for each, whichever like error records, those records are not inserting, remaining all records are inserting. This is fine, little bit fine, but we are not able to capture that error records, right? There is no possible to capture that error records actually in the parallel for each. So to capture that error records and also like to process bulk records as a batches, so then we can go with the batch component. Okay, so batch is the some simple thing actually, so I'll use batch here. Okay, so how can I use batch actually? So I'll use batch. So I'm getting 30 records, right? I'm dividing that 30 records as a three parts actually. I'll mention batch size is 10. Okay, I'll show you. Okay, first of all, I'll drag batch instead of parallel for each. The what is the main drawback for the parallel for each? It is creating multiple threads actually. For each record it is creating thread, right? So that's why it is creating multiple thread. That is the only drawback actually. Remaining everything is fine for the parallel for each. Okay. So to avoid that, for the better performance, to increase my performance, and I'm using batch component here. Okay. So batch. I'm using the batch job here. Okay, batch job here. Now you can see actually. So this is my batch job actually. Okay, so I'll rename this fill. So that's what you will get. Yeah, this is the batch job. Okay, so in the batch job you can see two sections actually, process and on-complete. But in Mule 3 we have three sections, input, process, on-complete, but they have removed the input page actually. Okay, from Mule 4 they have removed the input page, and here I'll place this actually. Hello, I'm getting noise actually in your face. So here I'll do one more thing. So can you mute please? Someone is unmuted actually. Yeah, thank you. So this is the very important kinds. As of now we have discussed about the for each and parallel for each. Okay, you understood, right? What is the advantage of the for each? What is the advantage of parallel for each? And now we are going to discuss about the batch processing. Okay, so what is the disadvantage of the parallel for each? It is creating multiple threads, right? So that's why we are going with the batch actually. So in the batch we are going to process all records as a batch wise. How can we process as a batch wise? So getting noise here. Sushma, from your side, can you please mute? Yeah, here, like here, if you observe here, like I'll drag batch aggregator here. Okay, so what is the purpose of this batch aggregator? In Mule 3 we have batch commit component actually. So they have migrated batch commit as a batch aggregator. Okay, you have to tell in front of your interview these points also. What is the difference between the Mule 3 batch and Mule 4 batch? You have to tell 2 points first of all. What is the points? In Mule 3 we have three pages. One is the input page, process page, on complete page. But in Mule 4 we have two pages only, process page and on complete page. And Mule 3 you need batch execute component, that is the separate component to trigger the batch flow. Actually you cannot drag in this way. In Mule 3 you cannot drag batch in the middle of the flow actually. You have to drag your batch in a separate and separately, and you have to call by using batch execute component. Okay, so in this way, like you have to drag your batch separately and you have to call that batch by using the batch execute. But in Mule 4 they have introduced batch as a scope, so that anywhere in the middle of the flow also you can drag your batch and you can utilize your batch actually. Okay, so that is the one more difference. And here in Mule 3 we can see batch commit, same thing we can see here batch aggregator actually. This is the similar thing, but they have changed the name actually. Okay, so but the behavior is same actually. So what batch commit and batch aggregator will do? Inside batch aggregator we can see aggregator size. Inside, if that is Mule 3, if that is the batch component, a batch commit, inside batch commit we can see batch size. But in Mule 4 we can see batch aggregator, inside batch aggregator we can see the batch size. Here I will mention the 10 nothing but, yeah, 10 nothing but here I can see. Otherwise I can mention like 3 is fine, right? Why? Because like I have 30 records. If I mention the aggregate batch size is 3, it will create a 10 batches actually. So every batch has 3 records. Okay, every batch it will process 3 records, nothing but it will create a 10 batches. Okay, so in this way we can mention the batch aggregator size. So now I'm going to insert my details actually. Okay, so first of all, up to here 30 records will come. It will inside batch aggregator, it will process 3 records actually. Okay, so if you place this insert here, so what will happen? Insert, it will allow only one record, but here it is processing 3 records, right? So that's why here you can directly, here you can use the for each also. Inside this you can use the for each also, you can use. So otherwise you can use the batch execute sorry, bulk insert also we can use to process the multiple records. We can use the bulk insert also. Okay, so I'll drag bulk insert instead of the insert, I'll use bulk insert. Okay, why? Because every time I'm processing multiple records, right? That's why I can use bulk insert actually. Here I can use bulk insert. So configuration, everything is same simply, and query also same actually. So we no need to worry about that, everything. So only the component will different actually. Control C, I'll paste the same query in the bulk insert. Okay, in this way I can place. I'll delete this actually, I'll delete this. So now I'm using bulk insert, nothing but it will allow more than one records. Okay, that's why we are using bulk insert. Yeah, in this way actually we are getting, I'll actually, this is not required actually. Okay, this is not required, parallel for each, I'll delete. So now I'm getting 30 records. I'm processing this 30 records as a 3 records into the database. So I'm inserting my details. Okay, so in the same way, here you can see on complete page what it will do actually. I'll show you what it will do, I'll show you. Okay, so in the transform message I'll keep one give me 1 second guys, give me 1 second. I'll do some. I'll share my screen, sorry. Okay, yeah, are you able to see my screen, right? So here you can print all your statistics, like how many records got failed, how many records got successful. You can print your consolidated payload actually. So here you can print all your statistics, like result of your process. So you are processing 30 records, right? You can print that result here. Okay, so I'll print in a logger. So inside on complete page. Okay, so on complete result, on complete result, this is the on complete result. Here I'll place payload. So here you can see this is the batch aggregator, right? So inside batch aggregator also I'll place one logger actually. So inside aggregator, okay, inside batch aggregator, inside batch aggregator I'll print the payload. And also here I will make it as a Java. Why? Because always database will accept the Java files, right? So in this way I can insert actually. So here you can see. Okay, I'll like as we know, we can, yeah, I can select delete from student 28 rows affected, nothing but deleted 28 rows. Okay, enter. Now I'm going to insert my details by using the batch. Okay, how can I use batch actually? So I'm going to insert batch. I'm hitting the database actually. I'm hitting from the browser. So I'm getting error. Anyway, I'm getting error, but I'll see my records got inserted or not. I'll see by using batch. Okay, select star from, yeah, 28 rows inserted actually. Now you can see parallel for each also 28 records inserted, and here by using batch also 28 records inserted. Okay, here you can see some what happened inside for each. Sorry, inside for each means nothing but here, right? Inside for each, where is the inside for each actually? Oh, it is printing inside for each. Sorry, actually it is running previous application. I haven't saved actually. Okay, so that's why it is not running in a batch. Now it will run batch. So I haven't saved. Okay, I'll clear the console. Now again I'll hit actually. So give me 1 second, guys. I'll delete every data. I'll delete all data. I'm hitting from the browser. Okay, 1 second. Now you can see my data. Okay, 30 records are like loaded. 3 records got failed actually. Okay, so sorry, it's not a correct details actually. It's not giving proper details. Clear. I'll clear the console. 1 second. I'll delete the all data from the database, and I will try to hit actually. Okay, now you can see on complete actually. This is the incomplete result. So in the incomplete page you can see like loaded records are failed records are 3 actually. Why it is giving 3 actually? 2 only, right? So failed records are 2 only. So you can see inside aggregator it is printing 3 records actually. Niru 01, Niru, sorry, this is the first record. Niru 01, Niru 02. Okay, 01, Niru 0, Niru 0, Niru 1, Niru 2. So these 3 records it is printing. So second set also it is printing actually, but third set it is not printing. So it is printing but it is not inserting. So while inserting third record you will get exception actually. 2 successful operations, 1 failed operation. Okay, so that's why it is not printing, found exception. The same way after that it is processing again remaining records actually. Here you can see Niru 9, Niru 12, Niru 15th. Okay, but this record while inserting these 3 set 18th, 19th, right? In the 19th we got error, so that's why 2 successfully insert, 1 operation failed. So that's why the 2 sets are not inserted actually. If you observe here you can see. Okay, so now I'll select star from student. Now you can see the 2 records only failed, but here the like in the parallel for each and batch we are able to insert 28 records actually. So, okay, why? Because these are 2 are the parallel for processing actually. That's why we are able to insert 28 records for in a parallel for each, and also like in the batch. Then what is the advantage of this batch actually? So here we are decreasing the thread count actually. So in previous example we are in a parallel for each it will create a 30 threads, but in a batch it will create a only 10 threads. Why? Because each thread it is processing 3 records, right? So that's why it is create 10 threads. If you give here batch size is 10, it will create only 3 threads actually. So we can decrease the thread count, as well as we can capture the error records also. We are getting the errors, right? So we can capture those records and we can reprocess those records also. That advantage also in inside of the batch. Okay, so how I can do that thing? So I'll show you. Okay, I'll directly show you that example, so that we can do actually. So already you have remembered this example, right? So in the same way, I'll show you directly batch example. I'll explain that batch example. Okay, so this is the batch example. I'll stop, I'll run this example, I'll explain this example. Okay, meanwhile, so here simply same, I'm generating 30 records. I'm creating error 7th record and 17th record. Nothing but 2 records are failed in the 30. It is 2 records will fail. Okay, first of all, you can see this is the batch step 1, right? So in the batch step 1, you can see I'm processing all records actually. Okay, I'm processing all records. In the batch job, you can see I'm giving max failed records is -1. Nothing but, if you by default max failed records is 0. In the previous example, you can see this is the default thing actually. Max failed record by default, max failed records is 0. Nothing but, if you got any error, it will stop actually. It will stop in the first batch step. It will not go to the any other batch steps. That's why I want to use here 2 batch steps. That's why I'm maintaining max failure records is -1. Nothing but, it will allow unlimited errors actually. So even though you got errors also, it will go to the next batch step. That's why I have given max failure records is -1. So now I'm trying to insert my data into by using the bulk insert. Now I have 2 error records. So those error records I can capture here. Okay, how can I capture? Again, I need to drag one more batch step. If you write batch here, okay, here you can see batch aggregator, batch job, batch step, right? So I can drag one more batch step like this. Inside batch step, I can maintain this batch aggregator. Again, here I can drag one more batch aggregator here. Inside batch aggregator, I can place log and transform message and write operation. Okay, so what happened actually? So by default, it will give in this way, batch aggregator. In the batch step, it will give no failures actually. By default, the acceptance policy is no failures, nothing but it will capture only success record. But I want to capture only failure records, right? So that's why in the second batch step, I'm giving acceptance policies like only failures actually. So by giving this only failures, I can capture my failure records here. I can capture my failure records by using the batch aggregator. I can process that failure records to the one right location. Okay, here I am using error records actually. Here I am using error records. In error records folder, I am saving that error records. Okay, in the same way, in the incomplete page also, I am getting some result, right? So I want to save that result in a one other location actually. This is the another location. So record status, in that I am storing this data. Okay, so in this way I am using some file write locations. Okay, so to capture the error records into that file and to get the status of that all processing records. Okay, so I'm using some 2 write locations. So where are that write location? This is my write locations. Okay, so where are that? If you go to a little bit back, here you can see example files. In that I will delete. Okay, I'll delete this one. I'll delete this one. I will delete this file also. I'll delete this file also. Okay, and I'll delete from the data from the DB also. I'll delete actually. I'll delete. Okay, I'll delete everything I have deleted. Okay, now I will run this batch example. Okay, so batch. I'll run the batch example. Now you can see my entire batch will run. Okay, now my status got created and also I captured failure records also. If you can open this, you can see that failure records, that 6 failure records you can see actually. So this is this have SID has ABC, this also SID have ABC. The 2 batches captured here. Okay, we can reprocess these 2 batches again to the target system. And in this folder, I can capture the status details also. 30 records processed, 60 records got failed, 20 records successfully inserted actually. Okay, 24 records. Now also you can see here. In here also you can see select star from. Here you can see 28 records, but it is showing 24 records. Actually remaining 4 records also inserted parallelly. But batches wise, it is showing batches wise. Okay, it is only show successful batches only it will show the records actually. Okay, in this way it will execute. So in this way we can capture the error records while using batches also. If you ask any interviewer in this way, you can tell this one also. Okay, in this way you have to tell. You can maintain all this flow in a separate flows also by using, you can extract from here to the separate flow and you can maintain there also. Okay, from here also you can directly, you can select all these three components. Sorry. So yeah, in this way you can select all these three components and we can extract to the flow. Here you can give some sub flow, otherwise on complete. Yeah, okay, so automatically this flow reference will refer to this separate flow. So here you can mention all your data actually. Okay, in this way you can separate also. In this way you can perform the for each, parallel for each, and also like batch also. But I need to explain the how to actually in the for each also we can handle our errors actually. So if we are processing 30 records, if you got any error in a seventh record, remaining all records got failing, right? So even though if you want to processing remaining records, then we have some alternatives actually. By using on error continue, we can insert remaining records also. So we'll do these things actually. I'll explain this later actually. So otherwise if you want means I can explain. If you are able to understand now also I can explain actually. So this is some difficult thing actually. So while processing for each, I'm using this in this way, right? So like here it is inserting, if I got any error in a seventh record, remaining all records got failed, right? So I'm doing is like I'm wrapping this database with the for each, sorry, try catch. Okay, so control A, control C. Okay, so I'll do one more thing. So now what I'm doing is, here I'll do one more thing also. Okay, so we have some disadvantage actually, so I'll do control Z. I'll show you. లేదంటారు
ఇప్పుడే కాల్ చేసింది ఆవిడ అతనికి ప్యానెల్లో అతనికి
yeah guys, yeah, we'll discuss about the error handling in the for each. Okay, so what is the like drawback in the for each? Actually you have seen some drawback, right? So I'll go that example, the scope example. I have done this, so I'll leave this in the same way. Otherwise I can do, I'll drag out this database, I'll delete this. You understand, right, how we can utilize batch? So now we are going to use like for each, wrap in for each. So inside I can place one logger, inside for each I can keep. So now I'm going to perform. Okay, so now I will run this application. You know, right, how it will work. The for each already we have seen, right? So I'll delete every data, I'll delete all data, I'll delete all data. So yeah, for each, right? So this is the very important actually, so you have to understand this thing. Okay, so here I'm processing 30 records, right? I got error in a 7th record. What will happen by default, the for each? So here you can see for each. Okay, for each, so it is not inserting. Why it's not inserting actually? Why it is not inserting means we are using bulk insert here, right? So this is the problem here. So we are using, we should use insert instead of bulk insert. We should use insert actually. That is the problem. Why? Because in the for each, insert for each, every time we will get single record, right? But it is bulk insert means it will expect multiple records. That is the issue actually. Okay, so that's why I'm changing here. So I'll delete this way anyway. I'll save, I'll run. Okay, so here you can see it will read apply and it is trying to insert. Okay, it will insert actually. So it will insert. How many records it will insert? So here you can see printing the loggers. Here you can see printing the loggers. So this is the first record, second record, third record, fourth record, fifth record, sixth record inserted actually. While processing, actually it is processing 7th record with the ABC. Okay, as of now 104, 105, 106. 7th record it is giving a ABC. Instead of integer it is giving the string. So that's why it is failing actually. Here it is failing and it is throwing some error actually. So ABC aside is not allowed, only incorrect integer value. So it is throwing error and it is stopping. So in the database also you can see it is inserting only 7 records only, not 8th record. Okay, sorry, yeah, it is inserting only 7 records only. So what we can do actually in the for each also we can do, we can handle our errors. Okay, and also I want to print that count, how many records got inserted. I want to print that count. How can I count actually? So by using, here we can use some expression actually. So otherwise this is not required. Yeah, we'll see later. Okay, so now I'll use this thing actually. Okay, I'll use this, I'll wrap in this database in try catch mode. Okay, so wrap in into the try catch. So in the catch you can use the on error continue, on error continue, on error continue. So here I can yeah, here I can give, so any, here I can give any error. If any error I got, it will come to the on error continue and it will process with this payload actually. So on error continue means if you got any error in the middle of the flow, it will process actually. It will process, yeah, it will process. Sorry, you can see some like I'll first of all I'll create this flow, after that I'll explain. Okay, so here yeah, here I'll what you understand actually. So like first of all I'll give this thing actually. Okay, I'll give this thing, I'll comment actually. Okay, I'll keep in a comment this thing, then only you will understand. Okay, try catch. So I'll complete it, I will keep this try in a comment. Okay, so now we have, previously we have this thing, right? So I'll show you. So now already I have saved this data, so I'll clear this from the database. So it is deleting 7 records. Okay, so now I will try to hit actually. Now I will try to hit from the, now here you can see in the logger you can see, sorry, so that you have to print actually. Yeah, there is simple thing actually, there is nothing actually. Okay, I enable this. So in the try catch model I'll place this database. Nothing will happen actually. If you got any error, automatically it will come here. It will set this data and it will process actually. It will set this data, it will process. Okay, if you run in debug mode, then you will easily understand. Okay, so I'll run in debug mode, I'll show you. So I want to show you in a debug mode, right? So I can show you. So where you can use the on error continue, you can tell this thing also while processing for each data. Some, if you want to got any error in a single record, then it will not going to process for the further records actually. Yeah, like even though if you want to perform, like if you want to uh, continue with the remaining records, then we can use the on error continue also. In that scenario we have used on error continue on చెప్పేసి. Okay, so then I'll show you how it will work. So I'm sending request, it is coming here. So now you can see how it will work actually. Okay, clearing the console. So now you can see how the like for each will work. Okay, so first it will come here, it will take first record. Now you can see first record will print here. Okay, so first record is printed here. So now it is going to database, it is inserting successfully. It is again, it will go to, it will fetch the second record actually. It will fetch the second record, it will print the second record here. You can see this is the second record. Okay, and now it is going to database, it is inserting. Okay, third record it is inserting, fourth record it is inserting, fifth record also inserted, right? So sixth record also inserted, seventh record, like seventh record got failed actually. Sorry, seventh record also will insert actually. Eighth record means nothing but position is 7. So now you got ABC, right? So SID is ABC. Now ABC will not insert to the DB, so it will throw the error. Automatically it will come to the on error continue. Okay, continue, it set that payload, and it is going to, now eighth record will come. Okay, now eighth record will insert. In this way it will insert all records actually. Okay, it will insert 30 records, it will insert. Again 70th record it will fail actually. So again it will come to the 17th record. Now what happened? Yeah, now it will fail actually. Now it will fail. Why? Because SID is ABC, right? So SID is ABC. Now it will come to the on error continue. It will continue, with this success payload actually. So here I am giving some payload, right? So if you, even though if you got error, it will come to the on error continue. It will continue the rest of the flow by using this thing, actually. Okay, so by using this payload, it will continue the rest of the flow. Okay, in this way it will print. So now you can see in this way. Yeah, in this way it will print. In the database also you can see only 28 records will insert. Okay, select star from student. Now you can see 35 records, means previously 7 records inserted already. That's why it is showing 35 records. Okay, so first record onwards it is inserting here. These are the 28 records. Okay, in this way it will insert. Otherwise if you want to see one more time, I'll show you, no problem. Okay, so now I'll do one more thing actually. So I'll do one more thing, like I'll place one logger here so that you can see. Here I can print some payload actually. So inserted. So here I can place actually, here I'm getting payload dot affected rows, right? So based on that I can write some condition actually. Okay, I can write some condition. Here I can write some condition. How can I write? By using choice also I can write some condition. So here payload dot affected rows double equal to 1, then it will print this logger. Okay, inserted successfully. Otherwise it will print the success failure, right? So logger inserted failure. So in many ways we can write actually. Okay, so I'll show you how it will work. Okay, so now I'll clear the console. I'll hit from the browser. So before that I'll clear this everything I'll create. Already deleted, right? So I don't have any data in the database. I'm hitting from the flow, clicking on the S. So now I'm clicking on the FX. So it will go to, first of all it will go to the try. So it will transform message. Based on that it will go to the logger. So now here you can see inserted successfully. Okay, so again it will go to the inserted successfully. So 6 records it will show the inserted successfully, 7 records. Okay, yeah, now I got SID is ABC. Okay, now you can see before that inserted successfully, right? So now I got error actually. So it will go to the database, it will come to the on error continue. Here I'm setting 0 actually, affected rows is 0. The condition is like payload dot affected rows is 1, then only it will print the success message. Okay, otherwise it will print the failure message. That's why automatically now I got some like error, right? So automatically this payload will set, so it will go to the here and it will come to the default actually. So it will print this message. Okay, so here is that message. So here it will print that message. Got error, right? After error you can inserted failure. Okay, so again 19th record it will show the same message actually. Okay, it will show the same message. Inserted successfully, inserted successfully, inserted successfully. So all records are inserted. Whenever I got a failure, then only it will show the inserted failure. Okay, 19th record it will show the inserted failure. Now next record inserted successfully. Now it will give SID is ABC. So that's why it will go to the on error continue. Now it will go to the default section. It will show the inserted failure. Okay, in this way we can process all records. Okay, so based on this we can process our data. This is the thing how we can handle our errors by using the error continue. So if you use on error propagator here, what will happen actually? In place of on error continue, if you use on error propagator, what will happen? We'll see that thing also. We'll see. Okay, so on error propagator, on error propagator. Okay, I'll drag this thing. I'll delete this continue actually. So I don't want this continue. So what will happen if I place on error propagative? We'll see. Okay, so I'll control S. I'll press control S. We'll see what will happen if I place on error propagative. So I'll remove from the database. I'll remove delete from the student. It is removing all the data. Now you can see one more thing also. So now I have deleted 28 rows. Nothing but even though I am using for each, if I am using on error continue, it is inserting 28 records. Only that 2 records got failed. Okay, the 2 records are skipping and remaining all records will insert by using the for each also. Okay, this is also one of the possibility. something. Yeah, it is deployed successfully. Now I will hit. If I am using on error propagative, what will happen? We'll see. Okay, so F6. So it is printing. Now you can see here. So almost it will insert successfully. It will insert 7 records. 8th record it will fail actually. Okay. Yeah. Now it will give the ABC 8th record. So it will come to the on error propagative. Okay. It will come to the on error propagative. Now it will going try catch. It will not come here actually. Okay. It will not come here. Directly it will exit. It will exit actually. It will exit. Finally it will throw the error. Here you can see finally you got error. Okay. So here the next processor also disabled mode. Nothing but the flow execution is stopped actually while using on error propagative. If you are using on error continue, then it will continue with the rest of the flow execution. But if you are using propagative, it will stop the flow execution and it will throw the error to the end user. In this way, proper propagative and like continue will work. Okay, so try catch. So in this way we can use. So this is a simple thing. Yeah, in this way. Yeah, in this way you can use actually. So now in the database also, if you check the database also, it will insert only 6 records only. Why? Because we are using on error propagative. If you want to continue with the remaining records also, then you have to use the on error continue. Okay. If you are using on error propagative, whenever you got error, automatically it will skip the flow execution actually. Okay. In that way you can define actually. Okay. But if you can see here, it is throwing one default error message. So otherwise if you want to check your proper error message, then you can use some more things actually. So this is fine as of now. Okay, that's it guys. Thank you so much. In this way, I'll explain you one more time, simply way. So in the for each, like we can I'll tell you in a for each about the parallel for each, and these 3 things I'll explain. So for each, simply it will execute in a single thread. So if you got any error, okay, if you got any error in a one thread, it will stop the remaining, means if you got error in a third record, so it will stop the remaining 27 records actually. Okay, totally if you are processing 30 records, it will stop the remaining 27 records execution. In the parallel for each, it will create a multiple threads. Okay, in the parallel for each, so it will create a multiple threads so that it will work as asynchronously, and if you got any error in the third record, then it will remaining uh, like 29 records will got inserted successfully. Okay, so in the batch means it will process batch wise, so it will also insert all records, but here the advantage is like we can capture the error records also in the batch. Okay, batch processing. So multiple thread actually. Multiple threads, but here we can process batch wise, so that we can increase our performance and we can decrease the thread count. Okay, decrease the thread count, and also we can increase the performance as well as we can capture the error records in batch step 2. Okay, so here it will process all records, but there is no it will create multiple threads, so that thread count will very increase, so our performance will decrease actually. So that's why batch is introduced. Here we are not able to capture the error records. That is the one more disadvantage in the parallel for each. So we have two drawbacks actually. So it will create multiple threads and it will not capture the error records. So that's why only we are going with the batch process. In the batch process, it will decrease the thread count. Batch wise it will process, and it will here we can capture the error records. But in the for each, it will process the single thread. So if you got any error, so it will stop the flow execution, and even though if you want to continue with if you want to same work as a parallel for each, then you can go with the on error continue, then only you can achieve that. Means you can insert remaining all records as well. Okay, so those things you have to remember in your mind. So you have to tell these points in front of interviewer. Okay, if he asked. Thank you guys, thank you so much.